Big Gamer out here. How are you guys doing today? I'm super. Thanks for asking. Today guys, I'm going to bring you a review of Don Bradman Cricket 2017. So that's just been released on the Xbox One, PS4 and PC. And it's currently retailing, get this guys, at over $60. So at least if you're in the UK or maybe Australia, at the moment the price does seem to be very high. I managed to get my copy at a discounted rate at £47. And if you don't know guys, that is well above our RRPs over here in the UK. Our games tend to RRP at about £50, but actually sell around 40 in the shops to 45. So to get it at a discount at 47 was a bit of a shock. To be honest, I could see this game selling for well over £50, and therefore the equivalent in the US dollars is far exceeding $70, and therefore this is quite an expensive game at the moment. But if you're a cricket fan, stay tuned because there's some good reasons to pick this game up. So at the moment, you probably realise there's not a lot of cricket games out there, and there's not a lot of options. To be honest, since the days of the Brian Lara games and then when EA took over cricket, I mean, to find those games now, we're talking early PS3 and 360 titles. So if you want modern cricket, Don Bradman has been the place to be. I think the last game came out in like 2014. So as far as this year's game goes, there are a lot of options for play. You've got everything from one-day internationals, your test crickets in there, T20, which is so popular at the moment. And then from there, you've got things like career as well. You can set up your own tournaments. And in career, what is quite nice is it's a lot like the careers you get in something like FIFA nowadays, where you can actually take a character and you can prove his stats over a series of games and actually trying to take that character from your local cricket team up to like international level. And that was a lot of fun. I actually found that fairly addictive. Now, as far as how does the game play, the simulation of cricket is actually pretty decent. The animations aren't the best I've seen in video games, but they are quite serviceable. Certainly better than we were used to in old cricket games. As for how it actually feels when you hit the ball, it feels good. Bowling, you can tell the difference between, your right and left hand fast bowlers and your spin bowlers and all the rest of that. Actually being able to pick your shots, it feels like, when you strike the ball with the face of the bat, it's going where you want it to go. Your shot selection there is really good. There's a lot of difficulty options on there, and it can be a bit bewildering at first. But basically, it seems to be two different categories, and you can kind of adjust how hard it is to pull off the shots and what the chances you're actually going to edge the shot or something like that. And then also you can affect like the way the game's played, like how the AI is in game. So are they going to field aggressively against you and make it a bit more difficult for you? And that really helps you. So when you start off with a game, once you get comfortable, you can really kind of turn up those difficulty settings. One thing I do think the game is missing to an extent is that, well, I'm going to call it the EA touch, in that it could do with a little bit more of a budget. It could do with a little bit more work on the atmosphere of the actual grounds and the actual experience of going to a cricket game, because as anyone that's been to a cricket game will know, it is a bit of a carnival atmosphere. You've got people in fancy dress, people are drinking, there's a lot of good noise and there's a lot of energy in the crowd. And when you actually do cut to crowds and stuff during these matches, the crowds need a lot of work. The character models aren't great, they're quite static, and a lot of the time you're not really getting the atmosphere that you want from a cricket ground. Also, on occasion, the players will shout for replays, they will shout to appeal certain decisions with the umpires, and it just doesn't feel right. It feels slightly canned. And on top of that, the overall aesthetic of the game does leave a little bit to be desired. The graphics aren't terrible, but it does feel a little bit like an Xbox 360 game that's been upscaled at times. So overall guys, what you've got here is a good simulation of cricket. You've got lots of options there for play, and you've got quite an addictive career mode. On the negative side, it is very pricey and it is lacking a little bit of the atmosphere of the big day. So therefore guys, if you're a cricket fan, I will recommend this to you guys. But overall, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. If you like the review today guys and you want me to bring you more reviews of games like Don Bradman's Cricket 17, feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll keep bringing you the content.